Okay, so I guess just to give a bit of context, what are the kinds of things you guys do here at Premier?
Uh, we're a home care company in that we go into people's homes and help them with a variety of different things. Like what we like to say to people is we do for them what they would normally do for themselves. So whether that's personal care and showering and bathing, or meal preparation, transportation for appointments or groceries, light housekeeping, medication reminders, all those sorts of things.
Okay, great.
1 second. Can we
Yeah, that was just
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Just hit the power button. There you go.
Perfect. Okay.
No ambiance in the.
I was thinking about that too. I was just like,
I didn't notice that until we started recording. Anyways, so yes, so regarding the Stats Canada finding about unmet home care needs, you were saying it's because of costs, so could you just go
Well,
over that again?
a lot of people are living on Canada Pension, old age pension. It's very limited. Home care costs money. This is true, and people can't afford it. So in the long term, it's costing more. Because if people can't afford to have people come in, people like us, to give you medication reminders or help you shower or cook proper food, you're going to end up in the hospital and long term, and that's going to cost more in the process because hospital care is expensive. People living on fixed incomes can't afford home care. There are government subsidies for places like CCAC who do a wonderful job, but again, they're very limited too, and then you have to meet a certain criteria. So just because you're getting older and you need some help doesn't fit that criteria. You have to be sick or disabled or things like that. So that's where the problem is. People don't have enough money to get the help they need.
Are either of you aware in this region specifically if there's individuals that are struggling with having home care?
We do get calls, people who are looking, they need some help, and it's just when they talk to us, they realize it's just not something that they can afford. So that does happen, but there's cases where their family can help. So sometimes if they're just needing a little bit of extra help, then maybe they can make it work. But if they're needing a lot of extra help, we do get calls of people who just say, no, that's not something. They thought it was free and it's not free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the ones that you said were funded by the government, would that be something that is free then? Or would they have to meet criteria to be eligible for it? Or how does that
Yeah,
work?
anybody can call CCAC and find out if they're eligible, if they can get help. We have a lot of meet a lot of people who they're getting help from CCAC, but it's just not quite enough. So CCAC will come in and they can help them with their personal care and things like that, but they're not doing, changing bed linens is a really tough thing to do when you're getting older, and getting your laundry done, vacuuming. So we quite often supplement the care that CCAC is already giving.
That makes sense. See, I thought it was all just the medical care aspect of it, but
There's so much more though. Daily living activities,
Yeah.
getting to the grocery store. If somebody who's got older and their vision goes a little bit and they can't drive anymore, they can't get to the grocery store. Things we take for granted, cleaning our house, washing our dishes, preparing a proper meal. People are not being able to do this, and they're not getting the help they need to do it because they just can't afford to get the extra help, and it's really sad. It's very, very sad.
And I think when I think about a number of different people who I know who are receiving care from CCAC, it is a wonderful thing that's in place, and there's countries that this just doesn't exist, and the care is solely put on the family if there is no other option. So we do have these services, and it's wonderful we have them. It just doesn't seem to be enough.
I see. Okay. You guys seem to be a little bit familiar with the figures for costs and things like that. So for somebody that needs to receive home care but doesn't, and then has to, go the hospital route, how much would it be for them to receive this home care in comparison to, we don't need exact
Okay,
numbers.
so hundreds of dollars for home care as opposed to thousands of dollars for hospital care. When you go to the hospital, it's expensive. Now, yes, we have health insurance, but the money has to come from somewhere. So it comes from the government, from our taxes that we pay. So getting a couple of $100 extra with your Canada pension to receive your help, as opposed to thousands and thousands of dollars per month for, if somebody slips in the shower because they don't have someone assisting them, someone like us going in to assist them, and they fall and break their hip. And that's very common, especially with our seniors. So they fall and break their hip. So first of all, if they can call for help, which is quite difficult if you've fallen and broken your hip, then it's the ambulance. You start with the ambulance. It costs money. Emergency care, quite often surgery, and then rehab, 6, 7, 8 months of rehab in hospital, thousands and tens of thousands of dollars. So there's huge difference.
Mhm.
So if people were getting a little more care in their home, it would not be so taxing on the healthcare system.
Very true. I guess then just reroute a little bit to what you guys do specifically. How rewarding do you find your jobs?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's a wonderful thing to go even to go and help. Sorry, that'll transfer. Even to go and help someone with housekeeping, knowing that you're helping them to do something that they couldn't do for themselves, and they're so appreciative of everything you do, even very little things. They're just, thank you so much for being here, and family. Oh, it's we quite often get calls of people who we call like in crisis situation, where they're calling, mom or dad this has happened, they've fallen, they've got to come home now, and we need help. And the fact that we can go out and help is fabulous, and the family is so appreciative, and we're thank you letters of thank you for helping us through this, and because we'll work with CCAC as well, and encourage them to, when they call us to ask for, we need help, I say, have you called CCAC? Call them, and we can help you with that. And it's very rewarding. It's extremely rewarding to be able to do that.
I've been doing home care for about 30 years, and I can't think of anything I would rather do. You get to share so much. You get to go in and make somebody's day a little bit brighter, even if you're going in for companionship, because a lot of our seniors don't have anybody that can check in on them or go and say hi. To make them smile, to let them know they have value is the most important thing in the world, because they do have value. They share us stories. They tell us about the way it used to be. I mean, these aren't things you can get from history books. To help somebody have a little dignity, you go in and you cook them some decent food, or you clean their house a little bit and they feel better. There's nothing more rewarding than that. Nothing at all.
That's amazing.
It really is.
You've given me a lot of really good information. I never really saw how, I was focusing on the medical side of it. I didn't realize the day-to-day.
We have a great medical system in place. We really do. We are such a fortunate country to have the medical system we do. But not everybody's sick. They're just getting older. And if we can help them stay in their homes a little longer and feel good, and even going for a walk. Some people don't go out for a walk by themselves because they're afraid of falling, but if you can take someone for a walk and then they can stop and say hello to their neighbors, they feel so much better. They're inspired to do it again and again, as opposed to sitting around and being afraid to do stuff because they do need help. So it's huge.
Of course it is. You're giving them a human connection. That's
Absolutely.
amazing.
It's like I said, there's nothing more rewarding. There really isn't.
Okay, great. Do you have any other comments before we wrap up?
No,
Yeah.
just, we need to take care of our seniors because they're really important.
Okay, great. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Awesome.